stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known. It would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known. Would have kept me from the one I had today. From my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known. Would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over there's a life I could have known. Things aren't all
Robertson County, it is time to.
Oh, good morning, good morning. I'm going to shut me up right there. Hello, this is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah LaVern, and this is One Street Over. And I don't know if you were watching me on social media. I was trying to get some, it's so funny because we have this new equipment in here, and UU Maldonado, Ebenezer Broadcasting, they've done such a beautiful job retrofitting everything, and we've got this fabulous facility. This is a worldwide Christian broadcast facility. So we're trying to get all the cameras working and all this, and UU has shown me 1,000 times, it feels like, how to make the WSGI Facebook page work, and I've just never been able to make it work, and it just worked right before we came on. So you saw that eureka in my face, and I was like, yay, I made it work. And I really don't know how, but I'm taking the win. I'm taking the win,
That's it.
Good morning, Terry Wilson.
Good morning.
What are you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Be a part of the gig club. Just get in.
I was in Mount Juliet celebrating Halloween with my grandkids last night, and of course, anybody who knows me knows that my grandbabies, man, goodness, it's just the bestest thing ever. But all of them are not here, and so that just frustrates me to no end. That I want one of. I need some Robertson County grandkids. Come on. I have all these Egyptian friends, and I keep telling them, none of my grandkids are here. If you want me to come hang out with you, move to Robertson County. Because I've got a lot of I've got some of the Egyptian families I've worked with have got little ones, the same age as my grandkids. And when I'm around a lot, they kind of call me grandma, but I haven't seen them really much because I've been teaching and doing all the things. So this last year, I haven't gotten to see too many of those folks.
But you're always busy.
It's crazy. And it's so funny. We have a guest that's going to be coming on Monday. It's about mushroom farming. Okay. It's fascinating. No, it's really fascinating. It is fascinating. And they're going to come on Monday and kind of unpack it. And it's one of those things I really would love to participate. But Mark and I last night were talking and we're like, it sounds like a really good investment opportunity. And then we're going, we do not have time to take on anything else. And he goes, whenever I have gotten because he's got to start an education program like I'm in, because I got to go to Murfreesboro tonight. He goes, once I'm done with that, and I feel like I've got a couple of years, of teaching, he goes, maybe, but right now, no. And I'm like, yeah, right. Thank you for saying no for me. We just don't. It's crazy. Hey, you're about to retire.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good, opportunity for you. I'm just saying. Have a farm.
Well, who knows?
Well, there's a lot of tax breaks with having a farm.
Yeah.
And this is mushroom farming. And I think you have to have base 15 acres to do
I
it.
don't have that much.
Yeah. So, so you're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So,
I'll stick with my little 5-acre area.
there you go. But it's interesting. Tune in Monday to find out about this, because I personally think it is fascinating. And if I had some cash lying around that I could, that's the thing. It's enough of an investment that I'm like, what if it? Because I want to find out all the things. Like, okay, is this, what are the risks? And so I don't know. It just seems pretty foolproof.
Well,
but I don't know. It sounds like a pretty good deal.
Mushrooms are good on everything.
True that, man. Talking with Terry Wilson. He is our veteran service officer, about to retire. Counting how many days to retirement. Do you know? Most people at this point of their retirement have got I've got this many more days.
I'm less than 60 days.
Okay,
Actually, as a matter of fact, today, 60 days.
You're finishing at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Speaking of finishing and starting, I believe today is our new director of schools first day.
Wow.
Maybe. First day of November. I kind of think that's what I have been told. I might be wrong. But somebody correct me if, kind of fill me in, because I think that is correct. But I think the new director of schools is starting today. So looking forward to, checking in with him and talking to him and all that. But so who is taking over for you as far as running that office at the end of the year?
Scott Irwin.
Scott Irwin. Is he going to be coming in here?
Well, I'm hoping he does.
He seems to be a little camera shy.
That he is. He said he's not a
shy.
big public speaker and stuff. So
You don't have to be. We just talking.
Yeah.
We just talking.
And you got him talking the last time we got him in here.
Yeah.
If we threaten him within an inch of his life, we probably can.
Well, it's so funny. In the description, I put, I said, well, is Gwen coming in? Because Gwen is one of our veteran service officers too, which I'm just so thrilled with all that. That was just God all over that. But it's so funny. I said, well, is Gwen coming in? And I started to put maybe on the description, because she's not, she comes in with me on Fridays to do Faith Friday, most every Friday. And she's my co-host on Fridays, and we get her out early, but she don't like early. Don't like early a lot. So, no. I just God makes me. I don't like early either, but He's made me get up at dark 30 my whole life, and I just do it. So, all right, buddy.
I've worked so many different kind of shifts and stuff. It's like they're like, when do you sleep? I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah, very good. There you go. That's my mantra too. Now tell me this. I'm sorry, I'm ADD. Whoop, chasing. I've got a friend that's son is going into the Marines.
Okay.
I think maybe leaving this week. Mm-hmm. What advice would you have for him, Marine? Truly. Young man going into the Marines, wants to serve, and I've got on my, since you're coming in today, and since I'm not teaching today, I just wore a t-shirt. I don't care.
And I know things have changed a lot since I went through, but there's a lot of physical, but you can get past the physical part. It's mental.
Oh, gotcha. So
it is mental.
Okay.
Because from day one, once you get to the airport and the bus station, and if they still do like they used to, they don't take you out to the camp until after dark. It's much better to get there around midnight or a little after. You're really disoriented. Yellow footsteps. And from that point on, it's very mental, because then their whole structure in life is to break you down to build you back the way that they want.
Okay.
And so if you got to be able to either, if you have some things in the past that cause you have anger or something, you got a place to be able to try to focus your faith. Focus on the end result. It's not what's happening today. It's not what's happening tomorrow. It's once you get handed that Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, then you know that you have made it and nobody else can take it away from you.
Yeah.
But he's going to Paris Island?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming. I don't
Okay.
know. Well, and you talk about this is a strong young man of faith. The family's just as strong faith-wise ever. So, but I think that's such good advice, just to be prepared for the mental strain that's going to happen. And every branch is different. Army training is different than Air Force, and Marines is pretty intense. I mean, and I appreciate that. And I think, I don't know, my son went through Army basic, and I think he would probably give the same advice, though, from the mental part of it. Because it was a different he went in, when Jedediah went in, he was really needing to get his head together, because he was just all over the place.
Yep.
And so it was it was exactly what he needed. Yeah. Exactly what he needed.
And first phase, you'll never do anything right. Bottom line.
No matter how good you are at it, you're going to do it again, Marine, right?
That's it. And if he's at Paris Island, do not kill the sand fleas.
What?
Do not kill the sand fleas.
Why?
They'll make you find it so they can bury it.
Okay, really? Okay, that's crazy.
That's how they try. That's basically how they'll have you come across the grass. Well, the grass there is basically sand with scrub kind of mixed in with it.
Yeah. And
then they'll have you scoot your feet, and then you stop and you stand there, stirs those sand fleas up.
Ugh.
No twitching, no blowing, no moving. If you want to know where the 1,000-yard stare comes from, that's one of the ways to get it.
Oh, God bless them.
They will crawl. They will crawl in your ear. They'll try crawling up your nose and the corners of your mouth.
Oh,
yeah. Sand fleas are sacred there.
Really? Oh well. So, but nonetheless. Check your mental, and this is the faith is, I think, strong. I think this is going to help him tremendously, because he is a strong young man of faith.
Yeah,
so.
and that'd be really good. Mm-hmm. I would not take anything for it. I'd go back in the Corps today. Just don't want to have to go through that part again.
You may have aged out, but
yeah. That's
we're getting old, Terry. Gosh, man.
I felt it this morning.
Terry Wilson is my guest, and he is our veteran service officer on his way to retirement at the end of the year, and all the things he does, but he is not going to retire before he embraces one more Veterans Day with us.
That's it.
And you're going to be, I imagine, multiple places. Next Friday is Veterans Day, folks, and Terry's going to be at Greenbrier High School.
Yeah.
And I love what Coach Woods does, because he coordinates all that, and he gets veterans, some of our teachers that are serving, which I think have served, which I think is wonderful, because it lets the students. It was like a panel last year where the students were able to ask questions of of you guys and some of their teachers who have served. And I just thought it was so wonderful. Yeah. I just think it's such a wonderful opportunity.
And it is. It's great. We enjoy being able to come back out to Greenbrier each year and to be able to do that, because, a lot of people that I see other people go, there's a American Legion post in Greenbrier. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You pass it all the time. Right there.
Yeah, they'll say, well, how long's it been there? Well, the building was built in 1999. That's when they moved in. They're like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, how can you not? How can you miss it? How can you miss it? It's right there on 41 as you go right through town. And if you're heading to Nashville, it's on the right. It's got flags and all the things.
Yeah,
so
people ask I have people who go, "Oh, it's the VFW." No, that's the American Legion Post. VFW does meet there as well, along with some other veterans organizations meet there. Or I'll have somebody call and they say, "Yes, do you rent the VFW Post?" Sure do. And I'll give them an outrageous price and stuff on it. And I said, but if you want to get the American Legion, it's this. Well, why's the Legion so much cheaper? I said, because VFW doesn't have a post, and I'm trying to help their building fund.
There you go. That's hysterical. I love it. People, that's funny. You're messing with them. I love it. That's funny. But now, I tell you what. Let's go ahead and pause. We're just saying hello. I mean, people they're like, what are we going to talk about for all that time, LaVern? Oh, we'll find something.
We got a lot coming up.
Well, we'll get right to it, but we do need to start. Let's start. You know what? Let's start with Corbin Creek. We finished with Corbin Creek yesterday, so we're going to put them out there first today. And it's so funny. I've been teasing Amy so much because she does not like cold weather, and I will not forget. It's been sometime over the last couple of years that I was out there, and she was not in an awesome mood. And it was because it was getting cold. And I got so tickled at her. But she sent me a post yesterday because I keep saying, pray for Amy because she does not like cold weather. And she says, I'm done with winter and spring is coming soon. And she put up a pretty zinnia, a picture of a zinnia. And she tagged me in that. And I just love it. And I thought that was so cute. But yes. But she is saying, hey, spring's coming. And now's the time to prepare, guys. You cannot get started on that stuff too early. Your gardens are done. Okay. I mean, maybe you covered it. I think it got too cold. I don't think there's any way you're going to get any more tomatoes out of your garden. But the ones that you buy from the Corbins, of course, they produce a lot. I mean, I know Brian said he was getting cherry tomatoes a week ago off of his plant still, but you've got to get all that, cleaned out, get your garden ready because it's going to be time to plant cool weather vegetables about mid-February. You're going to want to be able to participate in that, and you're going to want to be able to be the first with tomatoes in the ground. You're going to want to get your perennials in the ground right now. As cold as it's been the last couple of days, it's not as cold this morning, and we're going to be back up to 70 this weekend. So that is a great opportunity for you to get out and get that garden tilled and get it ready, plant some perennials, because as Amy says, I'm done with winter. Spring is coming. Go and see them. They're at 4920 Highway 161 in Springfield. You can give her a call at 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185, and be sure and check out the gift store when you're there, because they have got all kinds of wonderful things for all the gift giving that's coming up. And you'll see her, too, at the Christmas Sampler. She'll be out there. They're not going to have a booth for Corbin, but she'll be out there because she is part of the clubs that help put that on. But just give her a wave and give her a shout from us, and be sure and thank her for being one of our full-time sponsors here at One Street Over, and tell them U-Turn sent you. And Terry Wilson. So you got a lot going on. Let's get to it. What you got?
We do.
Okay. I'm going to shut up now. Go.
All right. Well, from the 1st to the 22nd, actually for Marines, that we just celebrate the birthday for that long. It takes 22 days to be able to do it.
When is the actual birthday?
November 10th, next
10th.
Friday.
Okay, well, so that's Veterans Day too and all that? Is that
Veterans Day is on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday.
Okay, I was thinking we were actually, so Veterans Day is on Saturday, and so we're celebrating it at Greenbrier on Friday.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm with you now.
Unless we get everybody to come in on Saturday, but we
no.
got a lot going on Saturday.
Yeah.
Back up here on November 4th, that's just coming Saturday. Of course, it's our 5th Saturday of our fall annual turkey shoot at the American Legion Post in Greenbrier. If you haven't been, come check it out. We got 4 Saturdays left, and so we'll finish the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Now, on November the 11th, we will cut the shoot short that day because a lot of us are in the Blue Star Memorial Program that's going to unveiling we're going to be in at Springfield Memorial. November the 4th also, if I remember correctly, VFW will be out at multiple places across the county with their Buddy Poppies. So please drop a little jingle or something green in the buckets, because those funds help support our veterans, and then also with some of our youth on the things that they do. November the 10th, that morning we'll be I'll have a panel together, and we'll be at Greenbrier High School. When we leave Greenbrier High School, some of us, me, will be heading to the Senior Center, Robertson County Senior Center. They are doing their veterans luncheon that day. Veterans eat free. Non-veterans, I believe it's $10 a person. It's always been a great time there. Always great food and stuff. So everyone come out for that. Saturday the 11th, of course, we'll be celebrating Marine Corps birthday on the 10th. You know, did I happen to mention that it's on the 10th?
Marine Corps birthday is, when's the Marine Corps birthday?
I'm pretty sure it's the 10th.
Is it the 10th? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, it's the 10th. Okay.
Yeah.
A week from Friday. Is that the Marine Corps birthday?
Yeah. Darn, done snuck up on me. Anyway, on the 11th, on Veterans Day, we will, of course, be having our turkey shoot. VFW will be doing their buddy poppies across the county. And then at noon, there is a Blue Star marker that's going to be installed, unveiled at Springfield Memorial Gardens. It's going to be there in with the Orange Heart Metal Foundation's monument and all. We have the Ghost Star marker. Now we're going to be having the Blue Star family marker. So that's going to be there. So it's a nice program. It's been put together that Joyce Gentry, bless her heart, love her to death.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. When she had her shoulder surgery, she goes, I'm only going to be out one day, Terry. So I'll be back on stuff the next day. And I'm like, girl.
She's amazing.
You know, amazing. And that doesn't even quite describe her. So we have that going on the 11th. That's at noon. Our honor detail will be there, part of the program. We'll have VFW be there. And, and I almost forgot, on the 10th also, a lot of our VFW members will be at East Robertson Elementary for their Veterans Day program that they do on that Friday morning. So they'll be there having breakfast, and then they.
And I've heard that is so special with the little ones.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like during this time we get popular.
Of course. Well, my son, you know, Jedediah, whenever he got out and right after he got back from Afghanistan, he goes, man, this Veterans Day thing, I eat all over the place. He goes, I have to pace myself. You know, I start here and then I go here and all the Veterans Day things. And, you know, and I think, well, yeah, you should. You should have that honor. And I'm active service too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You
know, the VA sent out a thing yesterday that I looked at, and I think there's over I forgot how many hundreds of places have already that they've been able to gather the information on what they're doing to recognize our veterans for Veterans Day. And so I do encourage people. You can go to the VA website, be able to, on their news page, be able to link to that and see all those. For Legion of VFW members, I know they should have that, probably getting a link attached to that with their state department websites. So definitely check those out. And it's just an opportunity for them to say thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
And not just for your service, but for our freedom as well.
That's the home of the free because of the brave. That's what I'm wearing.
Yeah. And because without our vets being ready to be on that line, whether they was in a combat situation or not, they were ready for the call. The only thing is, they're, just depends on the need at the time as for which units get the orders to be able to go.
Right.
And it's not saying that all of them wouldn't, because everybody plays an important role. And so when you've got protection out in front of you, you got to have protection still at home.
You bet.
And so that kind of helps some of the guys, that try to figure out was, man, why didn't I go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they made it without you at that point in time, but you know that at any given time, you were just one set of orders away from being there.
Right, and what you're addressing, just he's talking about. I know a lot of people who have served veterans that never saw a deployment.
Yeah,
and they don't, and they're like, it bums them out that they never got a foreign deployment. I had a cousin that was in the Air Force Academy, and while he was the Air Force, and so he would fly out of an American base and go do something in a foreign, but he was never deployed.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's probably one of my biggest regrets is I never had a full on deployment. And he was in for years and years and years. And but nonetheless, there's a lot of officers, and they're like, well, yeah, I served. I know of somebody, several that are veterans, and I call them out as being veterans, and they're like, yeah, but I didn't do anything. It's like you have stepped up and put on the uniform, you did something.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, how few? Do you know what the ratio of how many people serve in regards to our population?
I think
the number's just minute.
I think it's less than 3%.
Less than 3%, and I didn't think it was that high.
Yeah,
but it's a very small number of our.
Some say it's about 1 to 2.
Yeah,
I've seen some numbers 2 to 3, but it is a very
low number.
Small amount of our population actually does decide to serve.
You better believe it. Let me ask you, and I'm going to chase a rabbit here real quick, and then we'll get back to your schedule. This is something that's been coming up a lot with a lot of the young people that I talk with because I'm in the classroom. And because I grew up in the era of Vietnam, they asked me, do you think we'll have a draft again, Miss Vivio? I said, no. Do you think we'll ever have a draft again? Is that something as a because I mean, the world is in turmoil, as we know, but honestly and truthfully, it's always in turmoil. It has been for a long time. I personally, but I've not served, so I don't know that I have the insight on that.
Yeah.
What do you think as a Marine?
I think there's always a possibility that the draft will come back because recruiting's not hitting their numbers.
Right.
So that tells me that we have less people in. So if we have those billets, then there's not young people coming in to be able to fill some of those spots. And I think I know last quarter the Marine Corps actually hit their numbers, but then again, we're the smallest group.
Okay.
But still, the services aren't consistently hitting their numbers as for what they're looking at, what they're proposing on for recruitment. And so they're not seeing that. So without people volunteering, then if something worldwide happens that we get drug into, then very likely we could see the draft.
Okay. Because I mean, that's one thing I don't know, just in my heart, I just don't see it happening. And I think because we're more of a technological battlefield now, and so you don't need as many people. Just like you don't need. I mean, that's just a situation. And now I'll tell you, here's I'm going to throw out another wild card. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and they were talking about their sons registering. And I said, my sons had to register, and I don't understand why everybody didn't have to register. Quite frankly, men and women, especially in this day of equality.
Yeah,
I think that it should be across the board.
Yeah.
Everybody must register, and that's just because in Israel, men and women, they all serve coming out. And I think if you're going to register my boys, the girls need to register too. And especially in this day and age that we don't do that, I think that's just,
If you want to have the scale balanced and right down the middle, then
so
we all should.
If we're going to keep, having the registration for the boys, I think we do for the girls too. But that's just my opinion.
But our opinion, some of us have talked about because of the lack of respect from some of our youth and the kind of the mentality of how they're thinking. Everything circles around social media and what they read on the internet. It's like you don't have to think for yourself anymore because here, I'll just go look it up. Well, how about actually cracking a book or something? I like turning the pages. I can't get into I've tried audiobooks. I just really can't get fully into that or doing it on the computer because of the light and all. I like turning that page. I like just getting lost in there. It seems like you get so much more out of it. But a lot of countries actually have, when they come out of high school, they all have to do at least 2 years.
And I mean, that's the thing. And I talk to my students all the time about, we were looking at something the other day and I was sharing what my understanding was of somebody, and then somebody from history. And then I said, well, I found this morning and this contradicts it. And I said, the thing is, you've got to see both sides and do the research for yourself and not just assume everything you read is accurate.
Yeah.
Because I said I had one story that was at extreme over here and one story was extreme over here. And I said, it's probably somewhere in the middle that's the accuracy about this person of history. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but nonetheless, and we're talking, I don't want to get too far off topic, but it's just, this is a conversation I have a lot with my students right now because, of what's happening in Israel, what's happening in Ukraine, and just the winds that are blowing right now that make everybody go, what? And
you look at the young people there. I mean, they come up knowing, especially in Israel, they come up knowing what they're going to end up be doing.
Right.
The Israeli Defense Force, IDF, man. They are some bad cats now.
I believe it. That's one thing. That's one thing I tell people. I said, honestly and truthfully, I don't believe this is going to be, maybe I'm naive. I think that it's going to be settled much sooner than they think.
Yeah.
And I think we could go down so many rabbit holes right now. We don't need to. We're talking about the veterans and how we can serve our veterans. And the bottom line is as much as you and I talk about this stuff and how I feel like it's so obvious, especially in this county, that there's a place for veterans to go and get the things that they need. I meet veterans all the time that don't know where the veteran service office are. They've not followed up on anything. Something that when you get to be Terry and I's age, we know that we're on the backside of our lives. And you know that if you want to have those honors as a veteran and at the time of your passing, that you need to go ahead and get that stuff done now. And so many veterans are like, well, yeah, I'd like to have a military funeral, but they've done none of the paperwork or anything like that. Yeah. Or I find out people all the time that have these health issues, chronic health issues, that I can just, with a brief conversation from them, see that it has something to do with Agent Orange, and I start talking to him and I'm like, why have you not checked into this? Well, I got all my limbs. Yeah. But what about your family that has had to journey with you for this? Yeah. And it would help them, and they paid you nothing when you're serving. And this is an opportunity to, and just look at what the people in Washington waste. Yeah. And, let them help you. Let them make it a little easier on you. My goodness, there's so many, they're doing so much better for our veterans right now. So if you're a veteran, please reach out to the Veteran Service Office and just find out what's going on.
And it upsets me every time I hear people, oh, well, this is free money. No. By golly, for the veterans, you earned this.
You better believe it. When
you signed your name on the dotted line, you said, I belong to the government for this amount of time, whether it was a year, 2, 20, 30, 40, it doesn't matter. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, during the time of your enlistment, you knew at any point in time, your phone rings, you're gone.
You bet.
But the things that we put our body through, and I remember when we had the ALS had the golf scramble out at the Legacy a couple of years ago, and some of us, a few vets got together. We had a golf team, and we had T-shirts made up for one of our members that was suffering from it. Mm. That was his last outing, was to be able to come and see us and to be there for a little while, because it wasn't just a short time after that he passed away. And ALS, of course, Lou Gehrig's disease. It's
all connected to Agent Orange.
And, well, no.
Are they not? I thought they were.
every veteran that serves can be eligible or is eligible to file for ALS, Lou Gehrig's.
Okay.
It is one thing that carries. And one of the things that I saw posted out there, veterans are 2 to 3 times more likely to get ALS than anybody else.
Why?
Because of how we lived during that time while we're in.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Um,
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was all connected to the other. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Lou Gehrig's is
Wow.
one of the ones that is open for every veteran that served. And so, and it is a devastating illness.
Mm-hmm.
I have known 6 guys personally, very close, and it's gotten to where I hate to go to the funeral home because when I go now, it's people that I know very well.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 of them are gone. They were gone within 6 months of diagnosis.
Wow.
I only have one guy that's still here, and the VA has kept them. I don't know what the medication they've been using and stuff, but I think they got it early enough that they could slow the progression down. But that's all they've done. They've prolonged the progression of it, but the body is still just giving up.
Yeah.
And everything stops working. You know, the chemicals, regardless of when you're in, you know, you got to use chemicals to clean your weapons with, vehicles, things of that nature right there. So there's a lot of exposures, and it doesn't always have to be burn pit exposure. That's one of the things under the PAC Act that the VA and Congress did not take in consideration is we had burn pits everywhere at any given time. And I know they had burn pits in World War I, II, Korea, Vietnam, during my time frame, Lebanon, Grenada, you know, anyone that was deployed for an extended amount of time, typically you had burn pits.
That's amazing. And you just think about what that does to your body when you're around that all the time. We're going to pause and we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to talk about our friends. Let's just go ahead and talk about Veterans Motorplex while we're at it, because you only got a couple of weeks this weekend and next weekend that you're going to have an opportunity to go out to the races. And oh my goodness, we're going to be warming back up on Saturday. So you've been just so blessed. I'm so thrilled because Jerry needs you to come on out there and support what they're doing and support what he has brought to the area, you know, recreating Highland Rim Speedway to be Veterans Motorplex, and it is a family-friendly environment. You will have so much fun if you take your kiddos to the races. The weather's going to be much better on Saturday than it is this last couple of days, and it was for trick-or-treats. But the gates will open at 4 on Saturday. Racing will start at 6. It'll go up to about 9 o'clock. And it's, you know, if you've got a family, you've got 6 kids, well, you can get a family of 8 in for $40, guys. Up to 6 kids and 2 adults for $40 ticket. Go in. They got a great concession stands. I've got some wonderful students that are out there working in the concession stand, and I appreciate you for giving my kiddos a place to have their first job. It's so much fun. But just a couple more weekends. This Saturday, next Saturday, you can come out and be a part of everything going on at Veterans Motorplex. They're right there in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road. You can call them at 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725. Get out and see Jerry before they have to close for the season. Be sure and tell them U-Turn sent you. Terry Wilson's in the house, and I guess Gwen's not joining us. I think she'd been in here by now, but we tease Gwen harder. But she is one of the veterans. So let's talk about the office.
Yeah.
When is the office open? When can they come by? I know, when is it appointment only? When is it walk-in? Kind of unpack that. We've talked about all these things, so people want to know all the specifics about when they can come in and find services.
Okay. Well, the phones are always open from 8 to 4:30, and Mondays and Fridays the team does work remotely. It gives them a chance to catch up on administrative stuff. Also allows them a chance to be able to do the research that's needed to work on some of the claims, because Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays don't have much of a chance to do that.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays are We try to do appointment only. If we do have someone that walks in, then, we'll try to work them in. We will try to do an appointment. It just gives time for us to kind of plan our day so we're not right in the middle of something and then have to change flow, because it can take a while to get back in the zone as for what you were doing. And I talk with my hands a lot.
Yeah.
When I'm cold,
just go ahead. Yeah.
Then I'll stutter.
You're funny.
Anyway, but Wednesdays is
let's walk in.
Yep, walk in Wednesday.
Anything goes on Wednesday.
Wild walk in wacky Wednesday.
And today's Wednesday. So.
And it can be kind of a quiet day for us, and it can be one to where lunch is a luxury that you get on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, you don't get to walk out and have lunch because it's just too busy.
A lot of times you don't even get to eat while you're in there.
Yeah,
so
it's just a busy day.
Yes, it can be. But we ask for everyone's patience. These ailments and stuff didn't happen overnight. Mm-hmm. And so just saying, well, I got to get it done today because the weather wasn't good enough to get out on the lake or to go play golf or do something else, unfortunately does not constitute an emergency. Now, if we've got somebody in the hospital,
that's a little
and they hadn't
situation.
Done. Now, yeah, that's a different story.
Yes.
But just because you didn't have anything else to do that day, it doesn't happen overnight. And folks need to understand that we actually go through the development part of a claim. So when it leaves our hands in an ideal situation, we want to make sure we have all the information, civilian records. We want to make sure we have every little I dotted and T crossed to send in so that the VA does not have to go out and get anything. Mm-hmm. And if we can do that, then it helps the claim go through a little bit easier. They may send asking for clarification on something. Bada boom, bada bing, that's easy said and done. So it's then we're into the hurry up and wait time frame. Mm-hmm. But just saying, hey, I need to file this yesterday. Well, yesterday's gone. Tomorrow will never be.
Good luck.
Yeah. As they say, today is now.
Yeah. And so
tomorrow never comes.
We've talked all about the hours and things, but now where are you located?
We're located at 505 South Brown Street here in Springfield. That is the county office building for, I guess you could say, for lifelong Robertson Countyans, it is the old Jesse Holmes Hospital. We're up on the hill, opposite the hill from where the town square is. So, town square is on one hill, we're on the other.
There you go, and you can't miss it. I've been here long enough that I actually had to visit that hospital with one of my children before they closed it and built our new hospital. But so I do remember it being a hospital. I got here barely before it closed, but nonetheless,
I had a nephew born there.
Well, down a rabbit trail. I was in the middle of traffic. I have my studio in the house, and the twins were supposed to be asleep. This is when we first moved to Springfield, and Caleb bumped his chin on the crib and bit his. there was blood everywhere, and I freaked out. So I was like, "I'm gone, no more traffic." I took him and went to the emergency room. He was fine, but I was a panicking, young mother. But talking with Terry Wilson, he is our veteran service officer on his way to retirement. We have got a wonderful office here. There's just the story of how that started and how it's been built up over the last 10 years. Would that be reasonable? How long has it been? Is interesting, and we don't really have time to unpack that right now. I've got to do another ad, and I want to come back, and I want us to go back through our schedule. I kind of stopped you, and we got off on a track. We were talking about everything really through Thanksgiving and the turkey shoots, and you've got things really through the end of the year that you need to cover as well, right? Hold that thought just a moment. Let me go ahead and do this break. Terry and I, can you tell, we can talk. We can go down all kinds of rabbit trails. We're good friends and we enjoy visiting. But we do have some things we do.
We're Western
have
Kentuckians.
Yeah. There's things we got to cover. So, but let's talk for a minute about one of our sponsors, Cumberland Connect. One of my favorite spots. I love all my sponsors. And I've got a few sponsorships opening up here, folks. If you're interested, I'm going to be knocking on a few doors. But if you're interested in advertising on One Street over here at Ebenezer Broadcasting, please reach out to me and we'll hook you up. But we've got the Affordable Connectivity Program I want to start with for Cumberland Connect. We talk about how everybody needs internet services. And we found that out during COVID when the kiddos went home, tried to go to school, and they had no way to connect and to do their work. It's a utility now. It has replaced our phone lines, and it will continue to do more so as we move forward. So we need to make sure that those that are struggling financially have the availability to stay connected. And you can fill out the paperwork, and if you're a qualifying household, you could get help with internet services. If you're eligible, you could receive a credit of up to $30 per month toward broadband services, and they have packages starting at $30 per month. It's called the Affordable Connectivity Program at Cumberland Connect. You can go to cumberlandconnect.org and check that out. Click on, they've got everything you need at their website. You can just call them if you want, 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. But if you've been in an area that has no connectivity, and you've not been able to, do your work from home, just be able to make a phone call. My phone does not work down in the hollow where I live. I live down at the bottom of the hill, and if I don't, bounce it off of my internet, good luck getting a signal. And so I do my internet calling with my phone, with my cell phone, so I can stay connected, and it just is a game changer for me. From a technology perspective, and I cannot say enough about it. I'm in the gig club. Everybody says I don't need a gig. I may look at some of the other packages and I may adjust that. I don't know. But I was talking, I guess it was Aaron Slate the other day was talking about how that they have a base package and they have everything they need. And I thought, just look at it and see what they have. Check it out. And you're going to be just amazed. Amazing company, great customer service. Cannot say enough about my friends over at Cumberland Connect. Check them out today, cumberlandconnect.org. Find out when they're going to be knocking on your door and tell them U-Turn sent you. You're Cumberland Connect, aren't you?
Will be.
Will be. So
I am. They have just opened my area up, so I'm just waiting on to come out to do the drop to the house.
Okay.
And so we are signed. We're done signed up. We're on the list to be done.
Yep.
On our way to be the gig club. And we got the Legion post in the gig club.
I love it. You can be in the gig club too. Senator Roberts is not going to be able to be in November and October and November. So I'm hoping to get him in here because he's teaching. People don't realize he's also a professor, and this is a very busy teaching season for him. So he goes, I just can't. We've been moving him around trying to get him in here, and he goes, I just can't do October and November. But the reason I say that is I think once he gets his service, everybody will have it because it looks like he's the very last one. We tease him. It's like, well, once Carrie's got it, everybody's got it. And they certainly didn't show favoritism because that's our state senator,
That's
and
it.
if he wasn't at the top of the list, if he's at the very bottom of the list, that tells you they truly went to the underserved communities and went up from there. So I'm a big fan of Cumberland Connect. So, all right, let's unpack. We got through. We know turkey shoot through the end of the month.
Yeah.
Celebrating the Marines. The Marines' birthday's next Friday.
Yeah,
by the way. And Veterans
that's what I've
Day
been
then
told.
Saturday. And turkey shoot happening every Saturday through the Saturday after Thanksgiving. What else you got beyond that?
Beyond that, we kind of go into recover mode.
I got you. Well, are you going to participate in any of the Christmas parades?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We will, of course, the Legion Post, we will be involved in the Christmas parade in Greenbrier. And I know the VFW hits a lot of the Christmas parades and stuff as well, too. So it is, that's kind of our last hoorah is when we relax a little bit to ride in the parades. So that's always good just to be able to, people to remember for a moment who we are and that we're there.
Yeah.
And I tell you, if we have folks, veterans out here that would like to be able to be part of the honor detail and stuff, we've always got room on our honor detail to add more folks. Because right now, our team leader is 82.
Oh my.
And he still handles that M1 just like he's a young man.
I love it.
And gets out there. And our honor detail from the Legion Post here in Greenbrier, they are heavily requested at times.
Yeah.
And so it gets pretty tight for them to be able to go out and do. They've done the entire thing, including folding and presenting the flag, taps, doing the rifle salute. They've gone and just done taps. They've done just the flag. They've been there in support of the other services just to do the rifle salute.
Yeah.
So we worked many different things. We do go to all the we work with all the funeral homes here in the immediate area, and then we also get requests sometimes from Pegram out at the Middle Tennessee Veteran Cemetery. So we have done quite a few out there. Unfortunately, we have seen a lot of changes out there. It's just areas that did not have anyone in it now are just, it's solemn.
Well, and what is the rate that we're losing our Vietnam vets? Do you know that, Rob? Because it's astounding.
Yeah.
And I know everybody's like, well, they're getting old, but no, we're losing them at a higher rate than we did earlier veterans.
Yeah, you don't see very many Vietnam guys that unfortunately make it into their 80s or their 90s, and especially those that went through all the exposure and everything else. I mean, you can hear 300, you hear 500, but you can say 300 to 500 a day.
That's incredible. How many served in Vietnam? I mean, you're a Vietnam vet?
No.
No, you're not? I thought you were.
No. I was just a kid.
Okay. Well, yeah. What am I thinking? Of course, you're my age. I mean, how old are you?
Old enough to go to the store by myself.
Oh, Terry. Girls, I'm 60. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's me.
And I knew better than that. We just talked so much about Vietnam veterans because okay, I'm 60. Kenneth was, he was just out of high school when he died. So he would have been a full, 10 to 12 years older than me. I know more than that.
Yeah.
More than that. So but he was about 10 to 12 years older than me. So our Vietnam veterans. So I'm just trying to kind of get in my head when I meet a veteran, if they're like the 72-ish, that would be about the youngest, right? No?
No.
Because you figure Vietnam started when
Well, if you look when it ended, so 1975.
Okay.
So if someone was 18 then, and that's been 20.
In 75, 40, I would have been about 15.
So
about I was 13.
About
exactly, so 75.
About 65 is about what we'd be looking at, somewhere around there. So for
there
the
could
youngest.
be some Vietnam vets that are 65.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I forget the time frame, and we've got Uncle Cooch up in Michigan that served in Vietnam, and he's in his 80s. I don't know how old Uncle Cooch is. He's getting on up there. Yeah. He's and that's one. He's had health issues and stuff, but he's been blessed. He was in Green Beret and all that in Vietnam. So I mean, he's had a journey and a half. We're talking about everything, y'all. I'm sorry. We're just going I love talking about my veterans. I love them so much.
But when you look, our World War II vets, we've had several of them hit 100 and over.
Yeah.
We definitely well into their 90s for a lot of our, and those were combat vets.
Yeah.
That wasn't guys that was here in the rear, making sure everything was getting out that they needed support.
Yeah.
These are the guys that was there hitting the beach.
Yeah.
And all of that. So
just take care of your veterans, guys. If you've got veterans in your life, we're going to be running out of time here. But just take care of your veterans. Get in touch with Terry and all of them at the Veteran Service Office, and go and give this man a hug because he's been serving for a long time as a veteran and then as someone who serves the veterans in so many capacities, headed to retirement. And I'm not going to have too many more opportunities just to sit and talk with you, but I'm hoping we'll still get to visit.
We will.
You know, what else? What are we missing? I've still got to do a break, but we've got 5 minutes here. What are we missing? What are we missing?
Well, I just want to kind of hit on the office a little bit more.
Okay.
Phone number for the office. Grab your pen and paper. I'll give it to you here in just a moment. But Scott Irwin's been with me for a little over 4 years, about 4.5 years now. And that was one of the things I always had to say. There's no way I could leave the office unless I knew that I had about 3 to 5 years with someone.
Right.
And to make sure in my heart that it was right.
How do you
And
spell his last name?
Erwin.
Okay. All right.
And
he's going to take over your chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've always, the senior VSO in the office has always moved up. So I figure we have a tradition there, so there's no reason to changing it. Because how we've got the office set up, the way that our procedures are, it works. Mm-hmm. And the last thing we need is for somebody that hadn't worked within a rural communities.
And it's different in a rural community. Yeah.
So. And also, we didn't need a bunch, somebody coming in to start changing procedures. And I understand change for the better, and which is what we've tried to do. We take what we got and we make it better. Gwen is outstanding on the front. She's
my buddy, my sister.
Oh,
she's awesome.
I tell you, she's the gatekeeper. Mm-hmm. Thanks.
She's my sister in Jesus, y'all. You're like, y'all sisters? People do that to me all the time because my brother, my sister, and like, really, I didn't know y'all were siblings. It's like, in Jesus, we are. Go ahead.
And Abigail Ware, that's with us now. Abigail has been with us for a few months. Abigail was actually a service officer over in Cheatham County.
Okay.
And so we're blessed to have someone that didn't have all that big learning curve. Being able to come in. We just had to get her credentials back, and that took some time. So now she's fully credentialed, and so we're excited to have her there. Mm-hmm. And she has just jumped right in, just like she hadn't missed a beat.
I love it. That's wonderful. And I'm going to do my last ad, then we're going to come back and just reiterate the hours and all those things.
And the phone number.
And the phone number, and we'll do it twice. I got to say, I've got square dancers coming in here. Lee Marie's they're having Murph's Country Music Barn is having a big square dance this Saturday night. Doors are going to open at 6 p.m., but she's going to tell you all about that. You got Tennessee Rhythm Dancers, Maggie Valley Express, all the things that are going to be happening. That's going to be a good time, and it's this weekend, and she's going to tell you more about that coming up on The Ghost Show. And that's happening here in just a few minutes, so I hope you'll stay with us. But we're going to talk right now about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. If you need help in real estate, if you want people that can help you no matter what side of the table you're sitting on, if you want somebody to come and help you market your property and make sure that it's being seen in the absolute best light, how about reaching out to Barry Richards? He was a vice president of a media marketing company for over 17 years up in Nashville, and now he is the broker for the Exit Realty office here in Springfield on the Square. His beautiful wife, Rebecca, who just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Rebecca. She is the broker up in White House. So while they do partner in many ways as far as helping each other out with the things that they're experts in, she was one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. So that's one of her expertise, but they are separate brokers. Again, she's in White House. He's here on the Square in Springfield, and whatever you need, they can take care of it. They're Cross Plains residents, 27 plus years, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Best way to get in touch with them, just Google them. Barry Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Rebecca Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate team. You'll take it to unique web pages for each one of them, search engines where you can say, okay, this is my zip code I'm going to be moving into, the one that I'm wanting to live in, whatever it might be. And you'll find all that information there. But you can reach out to them also at Rebecca's phone number. That number is 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know that U-Turn sent you. And continuing on with my friend Terry Wilson, take us out, my friend.
Phone number for the office, 615-358-6502.
One more time.
No. Hang on. I got to remember.
Do it twice, but do it accurately.
Correctly. 615-382-6506. 615-382-6506. And ask Gwen, typically the one that answer the phone, and she can get you set up. And if you've been exposed to the flu or you're just recovering from it, Keep it at home.
Thank you. Call.
We can take care of some of your stuff over the telephone.
There you go.
And because being a small office, it doesn't take long for 3 or 4 people to get the flu, and then our whole office is shut down.
There you go. And remember, Veterans Day, next Saturday, lots of stuff happening on Marine's birthday, next Friday, turkey shoot every Saturday through Thanksgiving and after that Saturday after Thanksgiving, all the things. Give them a call. Go see them. God bless you. Stay tuned. The Go Show is coming up next here on 1100 WSGI. Thank you, Terry.
Thank
God bless
you.
Bye.